Chapter 769. Is it a matter too difficult to share with me beforehand? He inquired. No, it's not that. Either hesitated briefly before continuing. I planned to tour the entire south and return. The entire south? The quill in Kishir's hand came to a halt. Either chose his words carefully to explain further. In the previous game, starting with Charloin, the entire southern region suffered equally. It's hard to be sure the same will happen this time, but just in case, I thought it best to check the areas in advance. Either usually remembered well the battles and missions he partook in, but this case was different. The earthquakes and disasters he recalled in the south were years away from now. The landscape in his memories differed significantly from the current situation in the south, making it imperative to assess the area before any reinforcements arrive. Kishir tilted his head, listening to his explanation, and asked, But is it something you can do briefly? It's not a detailed inspection, so with efficient use of my strength, it's entirely possible even before the day ends. The day was already turning to dusk from his various tasks, but this was no issue for Yadar. His vision remained clear even at night thanks to his eye of magic, and he had no fear of unexpected enemies or monsters. The only problem was that decreased efficiency if he brought others along, as he would need to ensure their safety too. Realizing why he preferred to go alone, Kishir slowly nodded. However, this was not consent. I see, but it's not possible right now. I plan to finish as soon as possible before the reinforcements arrive. Is there something else I need to do now? No, but I still have some work left. Really? Wait until I'm done, then let's go together. I have useful abilities that won't interfere with what you want to do. And I look so good, so why do you want to leave me behind? Kishir blinked and smiled charmingly. Yadar, taken aback by his words, struggled to respond. Shouldn't you stay and guard this place, Commander? Although it seemed unlikely that an emergency would arise, unforeseen delays could occur. The trip, which was expected to take about half a day, could be delayed a little more due to that. In case such a situation occurs, there must be someone to support the southern branch. So Yadar did not even think about going with Kishir from the beginning. Kishir also thought he would naturally judge that way, but his thoughts seemed to be different from Yadar's. A depth of emotion rose on Kishir's face in an instant. His exaggeratedly trembling eyelashes gave off a deliberately made-up vibe, but even knowing that, his appearance looked miserable, like a daffodil soaked in water. While Yadar was slightly doubting his eyes, the man who bowed his head and covered his cheek with one hand whispered in a seemingly sad voice, Incredible. Are the memories of that night, which seemed inseparable, only left here? He whispered with faint sadness, his hand gently touching his cheek. Really? I feel the rising sun is meaningless without your breath, rooted in this land, while you heartlessly move forward without looking back. What? Even if my roots wither away, please do carry me on your waist. The place from which I'm taken will one day sprout a new shoot, but nothing can suffice for the touch of your hands. This guy. It was only after questioning twice that Yadar finally realized that Kishir was reciting one of the most famous poems from the empire. It was a tale of a mage from ancient times and the spirit who loved him, so well known that even children were familiar with it due to its frequent performances by jesters and bards in markets and taverns. Yadar too remembered it without much difficulty. The issue, however, was that Kishir was reciting lines typically spoken by the spirit, who is often portrayed as a delicate woman. The lines spoken by the spirit when offering its life-like golden apple to the mage, who needed to collect the greatest treasures to aid in guarding the king's land, yet couldn't bring himself to kill and take the spirit of the golden apple tree, wasn't it? The golden apple was the last fruit borne by the tree. Knowing that taking the apple would cause the golden apple tree to wither and die, the mage intended to refuse the spirit's offer. However, the spirit, assuring that what seemed like death at the moment would not be so, cut itself off and dropped the apple into his hand. As expected, the tree withered and died upon dropping the apple. But the dead tree became the nourishment for a beautiful forest. Later, when the mage returned to the king's land and planted the golden apple, a new sprout grew, fulfilling the spirit's words. So, Kishir's use of these lines now meant that, although it seemed necessary for him to remain here, it was not strictly so. Is this what he means? Either was at a loss for words, struck by the brazen yet mournful way Kishir recited the spirit's lines, yet also finding it strangely fitting. And that was precisely Kishir La Or. Either finally sighed and nodded his head. I understand. I will wait until you are finished. Much appreciated. The spirit, who had seemed like a flower shaking the human heart, quickly returned to being Kishir La Or. He then began to write responses to the remaining letters and handle a few documents at twice his usual speed, speaking again. I thought you might not have heard the song, having lived in the mountains. I'm relieved. I know it well enough. Do you also know the story behind it, where the mage is speculated to be the Archmage Luma? I'm pretty sure that he is Archmage Luma, and these stories are things that actually happened. Of course, Uther didn't. Such old tales had never interested him, and this was completely new to him. Is that so? Yes, indeed. Recently, with the increase in events related to Archmage Luma, I started looking into stories and documents about him. It's tough to find credible information on such a mysterious legendary figure, but this one seems quite accurate. After saying this, Kishir lowered his voice to explain the basis and reasoning. Do you remember the Hill of Abundance I took the foreign delegates to during the Harvest Festival? Ah, yes, it was related to Luma. Kishir nodded. Precisely, there is a legend that it all started from an apple tree planted by Luma himself. There is indeed a small apple tree there, though I'm not sure if you have seen it. I think I have seen it, but I didn't pay much attention. Of course, the response Uther gave was based on experiences from his previous life. The only occasion he would bother to visit such a hill was when entertaining foreign delegates, and Uther seldom undertook such tasks. As he recalled, he only saw it from a distance when he was closely guarding Emperor Kachyan. That apple tree is an extraordinary being that lives long, blossoming, but never bearing fruit. According to the mage's investigation, instead of turning blossoms into fruit, it disperses its inherent magic power into the soil. Are you suggesting it's actually the golden apple tree? We can't be sure since it's never bore fruit. The mages speculate that the tree, due to its unique properties of absorbing a significant amount of magic through its roots, was used by the Archmage Luma as a medium, possibly making it one of the foundation stones supporting the 7 walls of the capital. This is, in fact, one of the Empire's secrets. The idea that an apple tree on a hill accessible to anyone in the capital was actually a state secret of the Empire seemed almost laughable under any other circumstance. Some say that the first emperor simply planted it out of his fondness for apple trees. However, this story does show that not all legends are entirely baseless. There, all done. As Kishir finished speaking, he lightly set down his quill. Uther blinked as if awakening from a dream. It didn't take as long as you thought, did it? Did you tell me that story because you thought I wouldn't wait? Not exactly, but I do enjoy your company, so it helps pass the time. Kishir rose from his seat and donned his outer garment. Shall we go now? They went to meet Nathan Zuckerman, Kurga, and Suns, briefly explaining the situation before climbing to the top of the branch building near the roof. Uther, gazing at the moon in the sky, pondered over the stories Kishir had shared. He knew the existence of dragons, fairies, and spirits in ancient times. But he had never imagined that such a well-known story, familiar even to children, was related to Luma. It seemed he had another topic to inquire about when Anon arrived.